it depresses me seeing people go after people enjoying Hogwarts Legacy and Harry Potter like that is the best use of your time on Earth. Time is the fire in which we burn. Time which could be spent doing something more life-changing, more productive. Wisdom is time conscientious. Because someone is free to say and or do a thing does not mean that it serves their freedoms and the freedoms of others. People tend to forget about how personal responsibility plays a role in freedom. All because one finds redemption does not mean that what has been said or even done is forgiven or forgotten. Rather, you of all will remember that for the rest of your life. So often do people also give account of their crimes. Now, that video clip that you just saw was a YouTube short that I did on YouTube. And of course, the topic of today will be concerning this wisdom, the subject of wisdom, which if one understands what actions one should take and actions in which people shouldn't take. Sometimes people who don't care about freedom take actions which go against freedom. Actually, people who don't care about freedom and care to spout their mouths off like a fool don't care anything at all about this sort of stuff. But this will be part of the discussion, but the main topic will be surrounding this whole Hogwarts Legacy thing, which I thank Melanie Mack for saying this, and I will post this on YouTube eventually, but I'll have to wait a week because I got a video taken down, and I got a community guideline strike for something on one of my videos. Kind of annoys me. So this will be eventually a upload. Maybe I'll just leave it on BitChute as an exclusive. So if you want to follow me on Facebook, on YouTube, you can follow me on YouTube. I frequently post on YouTube, so here are some of the videos that I post on here. And so I post some content here. And you can also follow me on BitChute if you really want to. I don't frequently upload to BitChute, but I will probably start making that happen more. Because I'm just sick and tired of being at the mercy of YouTube and having my content pulled for BS reasons. And I would like my videos to be preserved, like some of my guides on various stuff. And you can also follow me at my website, which the link is right here. And you can follow me here. And you can go to, I talk about various subjects, including death finds its own end, various topics. And I've got some video archives here, or at least links to various videos on YouTube. I talk about various topics, and I also post links to other people's videos. You know, and if you like what you like what you see on my YouTube channel, you might want to follow some of my work here, which is a continuous project. So things do change every so often on my website. Without further ado, let's get to the subject. So you've heard about the whole anti-J.K. Rowling activists created a list to catalog Twitch players who stream Hogwarts Legacy. That's not really what I'm going to be talking about right now. What I'm going to be talking about right now is this. This is in my neck of the woods. I live in Montana, so this really concerns me when legislators advocate for this sort of thing. So we're going to go through, we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about my thoughts on this. So transgender state legislator of Montana, transgender state legislator of Montana voices approval of Twitch tracking list. It's bad to play for a game based on an IP that directly funds a turf. Like you know, being like you're gonna defund her. No, you're not. So this is going to be so though she claims to disagree with using it for the purpose of targeted harassment, yeah, right. A transgender member of the state Montana legislature has voiced her approval for the recently shuttered Hogwarts Twitch tracking list. I'm not saying that people should be harassed, but I'm saying that people should be harassed. It's like this sort of it's quite hypocritical. It's quite hypocritical. And as I kind of had that one article open, you can also read it here if you want to read it. Since 2020, pro-transgender activists, the minority of them anyway, have attempted to boycott Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling and lambast those who continue to either support or enjoy her works. What about Fantastic Beasts? This was due to comments she made regarding biological sex being real and attempting to avoid offending transgender people would result in offending and giving less rights to women. You know, despite pushing for a boycott of Hogwarts Legacy, with efforts including false claims that the game was anti-Semitic, the game broke Twitch's record for having the most live viewers for a single-player game, along with the infamy of the boycott. But you're never gonna make J.K. Rowling less famous, no, less rich. The boycott, the game released early for those who bought the special editions may have helped. Professor Matilda Weasley speaks to Sebastian Sallow and other Hogwarts Legacy characters. Yeah. So that's kind of what that is. Instead of turning to harassing streamers for playing Hogwarts Legacy, one notable case showed a streamer being on the edge of tears despite her pleas of being an LGBT ally. Ally in quotations. Another case was a VTuber canceled plans to stream the game, though was only suspected to have been harassed. Activists have also attempted to spread spoilers for the game on social media. Yeah, I've seen Liana Kersner has basically called these people out and said that these people need to stop. You know, she has and Liana Kersner is another person I would actually follow on YouTube under Liana K. And so, yeah, and they're so where am I? One person even created a website to uncover which Twitch streamers have attempted to play the game after Nye Universal was scorned from those outside the boycott. The site was shut down less than 24 hours. Good to see that these authoritarians again are not being enabled. You know, outside the boycott, and the site was shut down less than 24 hours. The boycott and harassment itself was mocked and rejected by streamers. There was one individual who voiced support for the boycott, despite the harassment, made all the more surprising because there was an American politician. And everyone knows what I've oftentimes said about American politicians is that they support, that the very people that actually, and I'll bring that thing up again. As I said here, it's funny how people don't listen to wisdom. People act and or speak with little to no consideration for others, and you see how quickly freedom is cast to the wayside, how quickly wisdom is forgotten. People are far too interested in sniffing their own farts and eating their own poop, both works of a sick and depraved mind. People lean on their own understanding of things for which they lack understanding on. That is very much a condemnation of people. You know, these are the types of people to not understand this sort of thing, and so they go against everything which is wise and good in this world. And it's these people advocate for the very things which go against freedom. So to this. So there was one individual who supported the boycott despite the harassment made all the more an American politician. Yeah. And so I'm going to put on the screen here what I think of this politician and people like them. Yep, have you read it? Good. Openly transgender Montana Stout openly transgender Montana House Representative Zoe Zephyr, definitely a person that I will. That's definitely a person that I'm going to just warn people about. Don't support her. Don't vote for her, because she is because she advocates for throwing bricks through people's windows. Pretty much that sort of attitude. Like, she may not be advocating for that specific thing, but she's advocating that people be harassed, which is the digital online, which is the digital version of that, or at least enabling harassment at the very least. Openly transgender Montana House Representative Zoe Zephyr voiced her support for the boycott on digital media, despite another Twitter user alerting her to the hate raids it perpetuated. And nicotine prime is hurting your constituents. Zoe and beyond Zephyr, do you endorse this? Asked, to which admitted, I'm not sure what you're talking about. You know what you're talking about. You know what you're talking about. Like, you know what you advocate for. Like, you people know exactly what you're saying and you're doing. Short version, politicizing a video game, Hogwarts Legacy, and calling for a boycott due to J.K. Rowling's beliefs. Scotch Tape 72MC explained a database is also being created against all streamers who buy it and stream it, so they can be hate rated on stream. It's just a game. This man has a lot of, or person, whatever, man, woman, has a lot of sense. While Scotch Tape 72MC later elaborated upon the issue, Zephyr seemed unmoved. She later, quote, retweeted the user's first comment and seemingly offered full endorsement of Nicotine Prime's boycott efforts. I support, Zephyr said. I, Zephyr, support Nicotine Prime boycotting the game, as well as encouraging others who have the financial means to join in her boycotts. Zephyr rallied, I believe in the power of art, which means believing in its power to influence discourse. Also, you can't separate art from those who profit off of it. Zephyr did state she was against the harassment, but took no issue with the. Well, if you're approving of the website, which is designed to if you're approving of the website, which was designed to do targeted harassment, you are in favor of targeted harassment. Like, I don't care what you say to try and spin this around. You are in favor of targeted harassment if you say that. If you these people really are just stupid people, unwise, stupid, slow to wisdom, and I don't really care what people say. I don't really care what people say about how you shouldn't call people stupid. Sometimes if a person is being stupid, a person is being stupid. It's, you can't really step around that with comfortable, soft language. Sometimes you gotta come at it hard. And so Saphir did state she was against the harassment, but took no issue with the tracking website. Also, I think it's perfectly fair to compile a list of people. We gotta have C list against C. See, people will go against C. We gotta have C list of people, of dissidents. Also, I think it's perfectly fair, she said, Zephyr said, to compile a list of people who are streaming the game, so that people may make informed decisions on which streamers they choose to support. Well, then again, you're basically saying that something which has the potential of being used against people, like in a political sense, like, how could you not actually think that this was a good? How could you think this is a good idea to support such a thing? You know, this could very well be used against people. Yeah. Could have been used against people to do targeted harassment, which if I was her, and I wouldn't endorse a website like this, because I know, see how the things we say and do affect freedom of others. It's kind of, they don't ever think about this. They don't ever think how this could be used against people. So obviously I don't support harassing streamers, but you support but then again, you support giving people the means of knowing who to harass. And I don't know how you don't see that, how that could potentially be bad. I don't obviously support harassment. I obviously don't. Zephyr obviously do not support harassment of streamers who do stream the game, but I support informed boycotts, Zephyr declared. In case this tweet isn't visible, I was asked about my stance on boycotting the Wizard game on Twitch. Also, if the tweet is visible, let me get ahead of things and say please don't harass anyone. He simply asked for my stance on an issue, even if they have a different opinion. And so a transgender herself, Zephyr's reasons for supporting the boycott certainly have a basis. On the other hand, she had offered to help streamer Pokemon's plans for new legislation to combat online trolling and harassment. And yet she's enabling the harassment of people by potentially supporting such a list. A list of dissidents that must be chased off the internet. You know, that's how people are going to take it. That's how people are going to look at it. And I obviously just make those connections off the bat, because it sounds like oh, I'm not saying that this, but you notice how I'm going off that train of thought automatically, and I'm making that judgment automatically with this video. You know, it's funny. You don't endorse harassment, yet you endorse the means of harassment. And it just doesn't make sense. In a recent Ask Me Anything on Our Politics, the dude Beto asked, how do you feel about this Hogwarts game mumbo jumbo? Zephyr reiterated what she had already stated on Twitter, declaring, I made a tweet about it. Short version is, I support people protesting the game. I've nothing. By the way, I have no problem with people protesting it. I mean, I have a problem with harassment and stuff. But I personally do not, I actually don't care much for this. But it just happens to go into one of my domains of, of knowledge regarding wisdom. And of course I jumped to conclusions, which is not very wise. But I mean, the conclusions that I jumped to are things that which everyone would have done. Which a lot of people would have probably done. Because in politics, you have to be aware of one thing and how people will take something. And so you gotta be very careful about what you endorse. And this person's not exactly being careful about what she endorses, how people take it. It's wisdom. And so, Dude Beto, how do you feel about this? Asked, how do you feel about this? Hogwarts game mumbo jumbo. Zephyr reiterated what she had already stated on Twitter, declaring, I made a tweet about it. Short version is, I support people protesting the game. I think it's bad to pay for a game based on an IP that directly funds a turf. But also don't harass people if they decide to play it anyway. And I just think it's I think people need to be very mindful about what they support. Supporting things like this may not be the best thing in terms of politics. Discussing the story. YouTuber Yellow Flash, by the way, I would recommend subscribing to Yellow Flash if you like stuff relating to Melanie Mac or the quartering. I don't usually watch the Yellow Flash often. So Yellow Flash 2 was aghast at the idea that an elected official would support targeted harassment. See, I told you that these people don't ever think about what they're saying or even doing, and how people will take it, and how this could affect their political career. This could affect your political career, and in fact, it makes me not want to support her, knowing that she kind of supports this sort of thing which could potentially be used for harassment. Responding to Zephyr's incongruous voicing support for the curation of the list, while also attempting to discourage harassment, the YouTuber rhetorically asked, what are people going to do? People doing with those lists? By the way, as I said before, even I have jumped to these conclusions, these concerns, and people don't ever think. They're not wise. You think they're just gonna peacefully protest that person? Yellow Flash mocked, claiming there was alleged DDoS attacks and doxing attempts. He felt Zephyr's support of the boycott was pretty disgusting. This is insane. It's a video game. People are losing their lives over a video game. Yellow Flash despaired. As he showcased Twitter users, game journalists, and developers making outlandish claims about Hogwarts legacy and what it supports would result in. What its support would result in. And now you've got a U.S. representative saying it's okay to compile lists. It's okay to compile the lists of people that we hate, so we can target, harass them, so we can throw the bricks through their windows. Weihnacht smells like a German Shepherd of years of poopy race. Yeah. Pretty much. This is a game. This is getting insane. All over a game. All over an IP. That if everyone had just ignored, it would have passed and gone for after a week. Yellow Flash proposes adding and then proposes adding, and then the game would have faded away into obscurity. I don't think it would have had the staying power of an Elden Ring would have had. But now this is probably going to be conversation for weeks, because people are becoming unhinged over a bloody video game. And it's gonna drive sales up, he concluded. If people would with wisdom would actually be quiet, as I said in that little clip, maybe Rowling would be more obscure than she is now. You people are the reason why Rowling is... You're the reason why Rowling is rich. Because you dumb fools don't know when to shut up. And so now she's going to be rich. She's going to profit off the game because you, of all people, didn't use wisdom. It's like, God, people don't know how this is how these people what these people think of themselves. They think that they are these clever people, but they're unwise, foolish, just foolish people that just don't think about why. They just don't think. We got one of these people is a politician and the Montana Montana House representative as a Montana House representative. This is crazy world that we live in.